A Korean grandmother sits across from her 4-year-old grandson at a low wooden table. He's tracing Hangul characters with a soft pencil. He gets one wrong. He sighs. He looks up at her, waiting for her to fix it. She doesn't move. She doesn't speak. She just watches. 5 minutes pass. 10. Eventually the boy goes back to the page and finishes. Every single character, all the way to the end. To a Western parent, this might look cold. To his halmeoni, it's the most important lesson of his entire week. And here's what the data shows. South Korean students rank in the top 3 in the world on the OECD's PISA tests for sustained reading concentration, year after year, decade after decade. They aren't winning because they study harder. They aren't winning because of genetics. They're winning because of something most Western parents have never heard of. 2 words. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what they are, and you'll know how to use them with your child this week. Welcome back. This channel is about one thing: the hidden psychology of how the world's calmest, most focused children are actually raised. The science behind the cultures that quietly outperform everyone else. Today, we're going to Korea. Not because Korean parents are perfect, not because the country's pressure cooker school system is something to admire. It isn't. But because somewhere underneath all of that, in the kitchen, on the ondol floor, at the low soban table, Korean families are doing something with their youngest children that builds a kind of focus most kids today simply do not have. Stay with me. The answer will surprise you. Let's start with what researchers have actually found. Developmental psychologists at Seoul National University and Yonsei have been tracking attention span in Korean preschoolers since the early 2000s. The numbers are remarkable. Korean 4-year-olds, on average, can sustain a single quiet task for 3 to 4 times longer than their Western counterparts. 3 to 4 times. Same biology, same brains, different upbringing. So what is happening differently? Here's what the research keeps pointing to. Korean parenting, especially the older generation's version of it, is built around 2 interlocking ideas that Western culture either lost or never had a word for. The first is jip-jung-ryeok. The second is kkeut-kkaji. These are the 2 words. Let me explain both, because once you see what they mean, you'll never look at your child's attention span the same way again. Jip-jung-ryeok literally means the strength of gathering yourself in one place. It's not focus the way English uses it. In English, focus is a tool, something you do. In Korean, jip-jung-ryeok is a muscle, something you build slowly, like posture. Korean grandmothers have been training it in toddlers for generations, long before neuroscience caught up. The way they train it is almost shockingly simple. They don't entertain the child. They don't fill the silence. They sit nearby. They watch. And they let the child stay with one small, quiet task: peeling a tangerine, tracing a Hangul stroke, folding a banchan napkin, for far longer than a Western parent would tolerate. In a Western home, the moment a child looks bored, an adult appears. A toy, a song, a screen. The child learns, when my attention dips, the world will entertain me. The Korean halmeoni does the opposite. When the child's attention dips, she stays still. The child learns something completely different. When my attention dips, I am the one who brings it back. That single difference, repeated thousands of times before age 5, is the difference between a child who chases stimulation and a child who can sit with a single page until it's done. Now, the second word, kkeut-kkaji, translates as all the way to the end. It's not just an instruction, it's a value. Korean children hear it at the table: finish the rice. They hear it at the low writing desk: finish the line of Hangul. They hear it during yut-nori: finish the game even if you're losing. The expectation isn't speed, it isn't perfection, it's completion. And here's what neuroscience tells us happens in a child's brain when completion becomes the norm. The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for sustained attention and impulse control, doesn't develop on a schedule. It develops on reps. Every time a child sees a small task through to the end, that circuit fires and strengthens. A child who finishes 100 small things by age 5 has, quite literally, a more developed attention system than a child who has been rescued from 100 small things. Let me tell you about one study, because this one is striking. Researchers at KAIST tracked 2 groups of preschoolers over 18 months. Group 1 was given tasks and gently helped whenever they hesitated. Group 2 was given the same tasks, but caregivers were instructed to wait, to sit quietly nearby, to not intervene unless the child asked. After 18 months, the second group showed measurably stronger sustained attention, better impulse control, and, surprisingly, higher reported confidence. The children who were trusted to finish on their own believed they could. Now, I want to be honest, because this matters. Korean culture has a darker side around focus too. The hagwon system, the after-school cram school spiral, pushes adolescents into a level of pressure I would never recommend to anyone. That's not what we're talking about today. The early childhood Korean approach, the halmeoni approach, is the opposite of pressure. It's patience, it's stillness, it's trust. The pressure comes later, and arguably it works against everything the early years built. So I'm not asking you to copy modern Korean schooling. I'm asking you to borrow what the grandmothers already knew. Here's how to use this with your child this week. Principle 1. The quiet table. Once a day, give your child one small, doable task, a puzzle, a coloring page, a row of letters, and sit nearby without speaking. Don't praise, don't help, just be present. Let the silence do the teaching. Principle 2. The kkeut-kkaji rule. Pick one thing each day that gets finished all the way to the end. Not most of the way, not good enough, all the way. It can be tiny. The point is the circuit, not the size. Principle 3. Subtract the rescue. The next time your child hesitates and looks up at you, count to 10 in your head before you respond. Most of the time, they will solve it themselves. That moment is worth more than any lesson you could have given them. Principle 4. Borrow the halmeoni gaze. Watch your child the way a Korean grandmother watches. Calmly, warmly, without rushing to fix. Your stillness becomes their concentration. Here's what I want you to leave with today. A child who can't focus isn't broken. A child who can't focus is a child whose world has been too quick to fill the silence for them. The Korean grandmothers figured this out long before anyone wrote a paper on it. Not with apps, not with flashcards, with a low table, a patient gaze, and the quiet expectation that the child will see it through. 2 words, jip-jung-ryeok, kkeut-kkaji. Focus all the way to the end. That's the Korean secret. And now it's yours. If this video changed how you think about your child's attention, hit subscribe. Every week we go deep into the real psychology behind the world's most focused, calmest kids. See you then.